here's how to make social media content quickly, consistently, and effectively for all the small businesses out there, and especially for real estate agents who this video goes out to. Guys, if you don't know me, my name is Jarvis. I run Jarvis Media Consolidated. We generate these kinds of results as shown here below for the real estate agents and other businesses that we work with. And I want to jump into a couple of ways that I found extremely helpful to help real estate agents and other small businesses create content that takes into account the fact that you have very little time in your day to do this. So I want to show a really quick, interesting stat here, and this is from medium.com, but agents with a strong online presence generate 32% more leads than those without. And of course, social media is a top source of online leads for real estate agents. Now, most people already know that, but it goes without saying that your online presence is not an option anymore. We need to be making social media content, and most people struggle with it, which is why I'm making this video. So let's jump into the 3 tips that I found to be extremely helpful with folks. Number 1 is batch record your content. You may have heard this already, but this really directly applies specifically to short form content. Yes, you can batch record long form content, and that does work, but if you're recording like hour-long YouTube videos or podcasts, like that might get really tiring very quickly. So keep in mind, this is best for short content here as I erase everything on my board. But that is what this is best for, is short social media content here. And so as we go through here, why does this help? Well, it reduces our setup time, right? So let's say, you don't have to do this, by the way, but let's say you want to set up your lights, you want to set up your audio, all that kind of stuff. That takes more time. And if you have to make a video, let's say every day of the week in social media, which would be amazing, you're setting up every single day. You're getting your camera together, you're getting your hair and makeup if you want to do that, you're getting your sound and all that stuff set up. It's very tough to do that. So instead, what we want to do is we want to make sure that what we're doing here is just leveraging all of our time in the most efficient way possible, which is setting up one time and reducing the overall setup time that it takes per week to make this. Also helps you get in the groove. I frequently jump on calls with real estate agents and help them record content. That's what my company helps to do. And so we have seen plenty of people who are really good at making social media content, kind of natural, and plenty of people who are very uncomfortable, they would say bad at making content on camera or speaking on camera. And that's okay, because it just takes a matter of time. And I'll tell you, when we record in an hour 12 social media pieces of content for those agents that we get on with, the people who start off not so great in the first video or two, by the 10th, 11th, 12th video, they're just nailing it. It's easy, right? Because you can't do something for an extended period of time and continue to be bad at it. Eventually you're going to get better. So it helps you get into the groove, which is going to make your content much better. All right, guys, the next thing here is no edit videos. So no edit videos just means making social media content or content for your website or whatever without relying on the ability to edit that content later. This is a little tough for people to get their heads around because it focuses more on the performance side. And yes, we have all these amazing tools nowadays like Canva and CapCut and all that stuff, which are great tools, and they can help us edit content for sure. But here's the thing. If you run a business and you're already having trouble creating content consistently on social media, if you have to not only record the social media content, but then you also have to get together all the content and organize it, then you have to edit it and chop it all up, and then you have to format it and post it, you're basically making 4 different steps, and it really makes it easy for this really quick, once a day video to kind of turn into a week-long or month-long project. We don't want that. We want to make this content as effortless as possible, and I personally have found a lot of success, a lot of increase in my volume of around the kinds of content that I can post by making no edit videos, which, by the way, this is one too. I'm going to finish editing this and immediately upload it to YouTube because I rely on tools to help me in the recording process and not having to set time aside and rely on that to edit content afterward. It's been a huge lifesaver for me. A couple different ways you can do this. So one, obviously, if you're recording social media content on your phone, that's great. Phones have great cameras and really good microphones, even if you're not using like a lapel mic or anything like that. Just having your camera on your phone is quite good if you have a modern phone, which most of us do. These cameras are quite effective. Don't feel like you need to go out and get this crazy DSLR camera. So that's great. And then you can take that piece of content and immediately post it to whatever social media platforms on your phone, right? You don't have to transfer it to different devices and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you're doing this on a laptop, I highly recommend a software called OBS. It's pretty simple to use. There might be a tiny bit of a learning curve. That's what I'm recording this on, and it lets me do all these things like, turn the iPad on and off, and, switch different camera lenses here and all this kinds of stuff. All these things are through OBS, and it's a free software. It does not take very long to learn. You can watch a quick 5-minute YouTube video and get the hang of it. And also, once you set everything up, you can just save it so you don't have to set it up every single time. So that's super helpful. Also, a preset space, kind of like this studio area right here, right? If you have a space that's always set up to make content, then you're ready to go. I'll tell you, when I come down, this is in my basement, when I come downstairs, literally all I have to do is pop on these lights like this, and then I'm pretty much ready to go. I plug in my laptop, and it's really quick. So I highly recommend this. It's a great feature. It's a great thing to have, and just really saves your time, of course. What also no edit videos help you do is it helps you get better at the actual recording and presentation process, right? I'm not a perfect person at this. Obviously, you can hear me stutter over my words all the time. And sometimes I do restart videos if I feel like I've really kind of fumbled on it. But at the end of the day, it does force you to kind of get better at creating content, knowing that you can't rely on something to be edited. So not only is it going to make your content better because you're going to be performing better, but you're also saving time because you're not editing it anyway. And a lot of times we'll find out that, all those little cuts that we have to make, sometimes it just takes learning a new skill and kind of getting better at the performance side of it to realize that you actually don't really need to rely on that editing anyway, right? You just get better at presenting it from the get-go, which is kind of the best way to go about this stuff. And then also here, pausing and resuming on your social media content when you're recording it. This is great. This is a feature that if you use CapCut, which is an app that is designed by the people who make TikTok. If you ever record a TikTok video on platform, CapCut looks very similar. It has all the same effects, but you can export that piece of content and then use it for Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So that's a really great tool. And one of the best features about TikTok and also a lot of these platforms, and when you're creating content on the platform, and CapCut lets you do this, is you can record something and then let go of the button and it stops recording, and then immediately pick up where you were gonna go. And that's amazing, because if you are talking about something off the cuff and let's say you're gonna stutter on your words, you stop when you realize that you're gonna not know what to say in the next 5 seconds, gather your thoughts, and then immediately come back in. And that's kind of like editing. It's like cutting up the video without having to go through that whole process and just doing it right from the get-go. I love that. There's also this feature here on OBS if you're recording on a laptop, which you can do. And I'll give you an example right now. See, now I'm over here. And now I'm over here. None of this required any kind of editing. That's just allowing myself to pause the video as I'm going. So it's a really great tool. Cool. And then lastly here, guys, scheduling posts. So scheduling posts is super important because a lot of people get way in their heads. Once they've created the content, they edited it, or they did a video without needing to edit it, and they're about to post it, and they're like, oh, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I should redo it. I don't know if my hair wasn't that good that day. The audio wasn't amazing. I feel like I stuttered too much. You can get out of your head really easily by scheduling the post, because there's something that happens, and this happens to me all the time, by the way. It happened to me yesterday. If I'm on a platform and I'm about to post a video, psychologically, I know that if I post this video, suddenly all these people are going to see it, and then, my brain starts to go, what if they judge me? What if they think my content sucks? All this kind of stuff. Despite being somebody who makes social media content pretty frequently, if you schedule something ahead of time, then it kind of dilutes that. You schedule it ahead of time, and then when it actually gets posted, a lot of times you forget that it was going to post at that time until it goes up, and then it's already out there, right? It's kind of like ripping off the Band-Aid. You're already done with it, and it's really helpful. Most social media platforms, you can just post automatically, or schedule automatically native on the platform. You can also use tools like Buffer or Hootsuite or all these different kinds of social media scheduling tools. By the way, I have one that my company made down below if you want to check it out for free. But you can schedule to all these platforms to all post at the same time, and then you kind of still get that same benefit, but you don't have to do it per platform, which is really nice. You also won't forget. You won't forget that you need to post something if you schedule it right after you're done recording it. So literally, you can take the piece of content, immediately make it, and then post it or schedule the post and make sure you don't forget about it. I can't tell you how many times I've recorded something and then just forgot to put it out there and been like, oh yeah, that was a month ago. This video might not really be relevant anymore. Now I have to redo it, which is a huge waste of time. And then lastly, the best thing, and this is huge for business owners, you can record whenever, right? Let's say you only have time at 3 a.m., right? That's the time that you have available to make social media content, and you know you need to do it. And maybe that's even when you're most active. Some people are night owls and they like to, they feel they're best at night or whatever. That might not be the best time to post a social media video, but you can record it whenever, schedule it for the next day at an appropriate time, and then you can go on your day and go on your business and run your company and all that good stuff, and then have that video automatically go out at a great time that you know it's going to be seen by the most people possible, and you can really benefit from that. So guys, hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.